we call her? Charnel.
We're recording.
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you. This is the local revenue subcommittee meeting. There are several bills that we will go over, and one that we will discuss because it is a pretty big bill. I must say that Delegate Ivy has put in a lot of work on that bill, so I want to make sure that we give it the time and attention that it desperately needs. So on that note, let's start at the top. Staying House Bill 158. You want to read the summary of that one?
Sure. So this bill is to basically compensate homeowners who are receiving the homeowner's property tax credit but did not receive as much as they should have because of a miscalculation by SDAT. So this would provide refunds for the past 4 years to those homeowners in the next fiscal year. So that's a lump sum payment of $11.4 million. And that would come out of the local reserve account, which is an account used to distribute local income tax revenues to counties. And then the bill provides for repayment of that $11.4 million out of the general fund. And the bill as written would repay that amount in equal payments over 6 years. The amendment that you have would make that equal payments over 15 years, just to spread it out a little bit more.
Are there any questions in regards to House Bill 158 or the amendment? I mean, and it does have amendments, correct?
Yeah, the amendment is the 15 years repayment instead of 6, and then it makes some technical changes. And this amendment would put the bill in the same posture that it passed the Senate.
To move the amendments.
Second.
Been properly moved in second. All in favor of the amendment, signify by saying aye.
Aye. Aye.
All right. The bill as amended.
Move the bill.
Second.
It's been properly moved in second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right. House Bill 158 has passed. House Bill 1179. Stan.
So this is a local property tax credit bill for Wacomico County. Just authorizes the county to and municipalities in the county to provide a property tax credit for property that's used for a hotel or residential development. And the delegation approved it.
Any discussions on the bill itself? Is there a motion?
Move the
Second.
bill.
Been properly moved in second. All in favor of House Bill 1179, signify by saying aye.
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 All right. House Bill 1179 has passed. House Bill 1180. Stan.
So this one is the property tax credit for airport noise zones. So the bill changes the area in which the property tax credit can be given. Currently, it's within the 75 LDN noise contour. This would make it the 65 LDN noise contour. So basically, they could provide the credit further from the airport. The amendments just make it clear that it's the county's option. If they want to provide the credit further away from the airport, that's their choice. The bill doesn't require them to do that. And that if they choose to do that, then they could tier the amount of the credit based on how far away from the airport you are, basically. So you get less credit the further away you are and the less noise affected you are.
Are there any questions in regards to the amendment? Is there a motion to accept?
Favorable.
Second.
Been properly moved and second to approve the amendment. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The bill as amended.
Move the bill.
Second. Second.
All right, it's been properly moved and second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, let's have it. Dwayne, is Delegate Hartman trying to get in? Said he received the link.
No, I don't see him trying to get in right now.
Okay, thanks.
Mhm.
House Bill 1219, Stan.
Okay, so this is Baltimore City local bill. Just requires that the notice that's already required to be sent 30 days before your home is advertised for tax sale, they would have to send that notice by certified mail under this bill. Currently, it's just regular mail. And there is, Mr. Chairman, as we've discussed, there's just a technical amendment that we're going to do orally. The bill refers to first class certified mail, and apparently that's the wrong term. It should just be certified mail.
Any questions on the amendment? Going from certified mail to,
Move the amendment.
what is it?
Second.
I'm sorry. What is the amendment? We're going from certified mail to regular mail, right?
Well, it's the amendment just says that the bill is just gonna say certified mail, not first class certified mail. So the amendment's to strike first class.
Right.
Move the amendment.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor of the amendment signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Not opposed. All right, the bill as amended.
Move the
Move the
bill.
bill.
Second.
Been properly moved in second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, House Bill 1219 has passed. House Bill 1222, Stan.
And so it's another Baltimore City local bill for their tax sale. And it would just say that that same notice we were talking about that has to be sent 30 days before the property is advertised for sale has to include an itemized list of the charges that they're trying to collect through the tax sale, because it could include a variety of environmental charges and different other kinds of charges. So just an itemized list, and the delegation supported it.
And there's no amendment to it. So any questions on the bill itself? Seeing none. All in favor of the bill signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Is there a motion and second?
Oh, I'm sorry. The motion to accept the bill.
Move the bill.
Second.
Been properly moved in second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Thank you. I wanted to discuss House Bill 1255. We're not voting on it today, but it is a big bill with a lot of different moving parts. And I wanted to give everybody an opportunity to weigh in on what we're doing. Stan, you want to give the summary on 1255?
Sure. So basically 4 parts to it. The first part has to do with giving notice of the homestead credit to home buyers at the time that they sign their contract, just so that they're aware of the credit and that it's important to apply. The second part of it has to do with changing the way that the homeowner's credit, that the income is calculated for purposes of the homeowner's credit, trying to make it simpler, just using Maryland adjusted gross income as opposed to the current formula in the law. Third part, currently the homeowner's credit's available to homeowners over 70 years old retroactively. So if there were up to 3 previous years in which they were eligible but didn't apply, they could get the credit retroactively. Currently, you have to be 70 and over to get that retroactive benefit, and the bill takes that down to 60 and over. And then the last part of the bill is SDAT hiring a usability consultant to make their forms and information about the homeowners and homestead credits more readable, understandable, and especially to diverse socioeconomic communities.
Yeah, Delegate Ivey.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And Stan, thank you so much for the work that you've been doing on this piece of legislation as well. If we could break down the 4 pieces into just generally how expensive each piece would be. The first bullet being sending out notices. That can't be but so much of a fiscal note associated with it, correct?
Right, yeah. There's no, for the homestead, notifying people of homestead when they buy their homes, there's no cost to that.
But the 2 large items are the changing the way that the income is calculated, then also moving it from 70 to 60 when it's allowed to be retroactive, correct?
Yes.
So I was speaking earlier during the bill hearing, and I'm looking to amend out the aspect of the bill to change how the income is calculated, because it would be a very massive fiscal note associated with it. Not that it's something we shouldn't do, but this year with the constraints that we have, just trying to figure out what the priority should be. It lead me to, at the very least, sending out the notices, and also conducting the usability study. But if you could talk to us about changing the years that individuals are able to apply retroactively from 70 to 60 and the fiscal note associated with that.
Sure. So SDAT wasn't able to reliably estimate the cost of making that change,
Sure.
but they thought it would be in the range of 1 million to 5 million. I suspect it would probably be at the lower end of that range because the current benefit for 70 and older is between about 1 million and 1.5 million a year. So it could probably be in the same range.
So,
All right.
Mr. Chair, for allowing me to speak on this.
No, I think it's important that you put things in context, because I think, that's one of the concerns that I had was simply the cost of this bill. I think the bill has a lot of great intentions, and I think, one of the things that I looked at was the fact, how are we getting this message out to the masses, especially those in some impoverished areas. What does that look like, Stan, as far as the marketing and getting that out to folks so they know that these tax credits are actually available?
Yeah, so we know state data indicates there may be as many as 470,000 Marylanders who are eligible for the homestead credit but aren't getting it. And from what I understand, people are not being notified of the homestead credit when they sign their contracts for their homes or settle on their homes. I know I wasn't when I bought my house. And then for the homeowners credit, we don't have like solid numbers as to how many are eligible versus how many are actually getting it. But the advocates tell us that they think that it's a small percentage of those who are eligible who are actually getting the credit. And they also report that of the people they work with who are in tax sale, a large majority are not getting the homeowners credit even though they're eligible. And if they were getting the homeowners credit, they wouldn't be in tax sale.
Okay, thank you. Delegate Bowman.
Yeah, my question is, why is it necessary that we would have to do this retroactively? I'm not sure I understand why you want to do that.
Can I answer?
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Wonderful question. Already it's state law that if you're 70 years or older, that you can apply for this credit retroactively, and it's a 3-year period. And so this piece of legislation would just change that from 70 to 60, but that would still keep us in line with the practice that we already are undertaking by allowing it to be retroactively dispersed for 3 years.
Oh, okay. So it's only a 3-year that they could go back and get this. Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
Are there any other questions? So Delegate Ivey, you said you were going to put together an amendment.
Yeah, we have an amendment to remove how income is calculated already, but I do want to speak with members of the Appropriations Committee to see, what they feel comfortable with, and speaking with you, Mr. Chairman, and also other individuals in leadership to see what they're willing to move forward with, because I know that we could try and move this all this year. That's just not something that we can get done. And so breaking this up into a multi-year project was what I had in mind. So just trying to figure out what pieces we're going to move now and which pieces we're going to hold for later.
Fair enough.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
All right. Delegate Hartman, we went over 5 bills. Did you want to weigh in on those? Or did you have a chance to look at them? You're on mute.
I'll get with you. 1179, I know was something that was important to the county. hopefully that's moving. It's just enabling legislation, the Wycomico County Property Tax Credit Bill.
Yep. That was voted out.
Okay. Airport noise, I'm really not a fan of. Hopefully that one will have a crash land. Hopefully that'll have a crash landing.
Legislation, so it's
Okay.
not authorizing anything.
1219, fine, that's a local bill. And the same with 1222. So it's, does that cover them all?
Yes, sir.
Thank you for that opportunity.
Yeah. Does anyone else has anything else? Stan? Charnel?
No, Chair Darnell.
All right, guys. Thank y'all so much. See you at 1:30. And Delegate Patterson, you at 1.
110,
Oh, 1:10.
racing and gaming, or gaming and racing.
All right.
Racing and gaming.
Thanks,
Have
y'all.
a
Thank
good
you
one.
so much.
Aye.
Thanks, Dwayne.
Thanks, Mr. Chair.
All right.